What's up, everybody? This is Jason David Frank, the Green Ranger, and you are watching Ranger Wrap-Up. Peace out. What's up, everybody? This is Jason David.
Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, I was just talking about our intro and how Tommy's helmet that he's holding, that Green Ranger helmet, looks like Matt's helmet from the Boom Studios comic.
It does.
I don't know why I just mentioned that. But here we are live. We're going to be talking about Fan First Friday, what just went down on Hasbro Pulse. I am Joe, along with my Illuminerdi team members, Jezza Reyes, Daniel Jerome, and Erlem, coming all the way from England. But guys, we got a lot to talk about today. And look, I know that there can be a lot of controversy in terms of some of the products that are released, or even the fans in the chat room. But let's just keep it focused on the products we got, because there was a lot, and that stream went for about an hour, which is pretty good length, right?
Yeah, it's about the longer than the last one, I think.
So let's break some of this stuff down. Now, I think I kind of want to hear Erlen talk about this a little bit. Now, we did get a lot of Mighty Morphin product reveals, and we'll save the Lightning Collection for the middle of this. But some of the initial products that we kind of got announced, we knew about some of them, like the shoes and stuff. But go over the products that we had, at least in that first part of the presentation, Erlen.
So we had what was leaked on Amazon. So it was Cassie, Phantom Ranger, Tanya, and Dino Charge Green. Then it was II Guy, which was leaked about an hour before the event, which I was just like, why would you do that?
How did that even happen?
I have no idea. What the hell?
I think it's certain websites that Hasbro sends out and says, hey, look at this, you've got it. And then they just release it and be like, oh, you can release it at this time. And they're like, okay. We had these Zords for Dino Fury, and that's the one thing that ticked me off so much for what they said. And then the lovely Tiger game that we had, the nostalgia look, and then what was the last thing?
The shoes.
Oh yeah, and Void Knight and thingy. Oh yeah, the shoes. I only like the Yellow Ranger shoes. They look really cool, but that's it. But yeah, the whole thing that was literally a rundown. No trivia, which I missed.
Yes, no trivia. What, you missed
We
it?
do have a couple of you guys in the chat. Edward Sanchez, Marissa Walls, hello. Daniel, over what part, besides the Lightning Collection, what other products stood out to you the most with this announcement of Fan First Friday?
Unfortunately, there was nothing else besides that for me. Nothing really jumped out at me. Oh, but the shoes. I gotta say, I dig the design of the Pink Ranger shoes, except for the back.
Yeah.
Except for the back. I'm not using them. I'm not fighting in some Persona type video game. I don't need a weapon on the back of my shoes. But besides that, I mean, they're not bad. So
no, I think that the Pink Ranger shoes are my favorite as well. If I was gonna get any other shoes, I'm definitely getting the Pink Ranger.
Do you remember Kelly? She used to have this Pink Ranger black and pink jacket that those shoes would go perfect with, I think.
Yeah, she made that black and pink jacket though too. But we also have the super chat available.
Yeah.
So if you're feeling inclined to support the show, please do so. The shoes were a good touch. I actually really like the gimmick of the boxes kind of making the Megazord. And overall, I think that Power Ranger fans don't have enough merch to wear that are like the shoes. But I just kind of wish that we got. Not saying we won't, because what if we were able to get different seasons and different shoe lines? I think that would be super cool, and they just keep progressing their style of shoes. I think that would be awesome. But out of that Mighty Morphin iteration, I'm a big fan of those Pink Ranger shoes. We have to assume though we're gonna get a Green Ranger pair and a White Ranger pair, right? Especially a White Ranger pair.
Oh yeah.
What would they be though? I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of Reebok's style that they have for shoes, so that's why I'm not really that hyped about it. Now it feels like.
Well, I mean, it depends on what kinds of shoes, right? Like whether they be running shoes, whether they be sneaker. I mean, like high tops. You know what I mean? There's different looks you can kind of go for. I think that would have been cool to like kind of look, I can't hate on that. I think like having at least we have shoe options like that. That's a cool idea, and I'm not gonna hate on that idea, especially even if it is Mighty Morphin. Let's get real. If there was a shoe option for like RPM, like for the regular consumer probably isn't gonna buy them unless they're just dope looking shoes. Then maybe we're talking about something else. Like the sneakerheads might get them. But like other than that, mainstream, that's the way you got to sell us at Mighty Morphin. So I'm not gonna hate on that. I'm glad that we're just getting Power Ranger shoes just to begin with.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. I bet you tons and tons of fans are gonna be wearing them at Power MorphCon next year. Tons.
They should just bring Reebok in.
Yeah,
and be like, boom,
sell it
have
there.
a stall.
Just sell it there at the con. I'm sure they're gonna have a few on hand.
Man, who's to say that won't happen at the Viewing Globe? More on that later.
Oh, what?
Skinny Boy says, I find it interesting that green and black figures don't have original weapons like the other three. I'm assuming that must mean for Dino Fury.
Dino Fury, yeah.
The Dino Fury figures. Now, I want to talk about that. I mean, we're going to jump around here for a second. And Jezza, let me ask you about the Dino Fury box set. Now, obviously, this is the 6-inch line. It's really going to be for the younger ages out there. There's a box set coming out exclusive to Amazon. I know that a lot of fans didn't really like the exclusivity coming to Amazon, but overall, like, what do you think about the box set?
I think it's cool. I mean, like, it gives a chance. The box actually looks pretty cool, but it gives a chance for anybody to pick up the whole set if they wanted to. Finding. I mean, I think they're kind of easy to find in stores, but like buying a whole set if it comes at a cheaper price, especially. I mean, what's the scale? Like, are they way smaller than Lightning Collection figures?
I mean, that's a great question. You know what? I should know because I had these for a while when they sent them to me. They're a little bit. They're smaller, but I don't know how noticeably.
They're about the same size.
Oh, see?
Oh, are they?
Really?
Yeah.
So I mean, I wish that we'd get Lightning Collection figures, but I mean, having them all together looks pretty dope, especially if you can get Gold and Void Knight with them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
man. Like we've been really big advocates of getting those Dino Fury figures for a while now, and as that stream was going on, I think we even mentioned to ourselves, like, man, it's kind of weird that we're not seeing any of the Dino Fury Lightning Collection figures. But you know what? Maybe they're rolling them out a little bit slower, and maybe there's just so much Dino content, or maybe Dino products they have. They don't want to overwhelm us with.
They're
so much
still going
Dino
through
products.
MMPR.
It's
content.
definitely a possibility.
Still going through MMPR.
Right. So exactly. So it's cool. Yeah, and look, we already had a couple of those Rangers released. I remember they sent us that box set with red, pink, and blue. So we can only assume that green and black would be coming out later, like Bryce says here in the chat. But Daniel, one of the things that you were not the biggest fan of is kind of like this retro Tiger game, this handheld game that's coming out. Chat me up. Are you into this retro thing or not? Like, it didn't seem like this is your fancy, even though you and I were probably the age range that this is marketed towards.
There's no reason to bring those back. I mean, where we are now with technology, what you can download on your phone and everything else, and then you choose to do this. This is a clear money grab. And what money are you gonna grab?
How much is it?
Who's getting
it?
You're only getting it just to collect it and have it sitting somewhere. You're never gonna play it. And then, like we were saying earlier, you got to turn on the little lamp thing, and when if you're driving or whatever, your kid's in the car, you do that. I know at least in California, you're getting pulled over because that's illegal.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
You can't have that on while you're driving.
No, that's a lie. That's not true.
The Blue Centurion said
that's a lie.
Yeah, that's a lie.
With the light on?
Yeah. There's no rule against it.
So do you think?
There is if you're black.
I'm saying, man.
Okay,
I'm just saying.
okay.
I know. I say, whoa! Oh, here it comes. That's it for me. Like, I'm calling Joe. Like, get ready to bail me.
Seriously, no joke. Me and Daniel. This is not even a joke. No joke. Me and Daniel were literally driving in his car. We literally went like 2 blocks, and we got pulled over for literally nothing.
Oh man.
Like, and the question they asked him was like, "Hey, can we see your registration?" He was just like, "Hey, like, why am I being pulled over?" Like, well, we just want to see your registration. It's like, but for what? Anyway, well, that's going off topic.
But that made no sense to me still, even without that being involved. Why technology's gone so far. Why do we want to go backwards? And if you want to go backwards to remember something, improve on it. Don't just do the same exact thing. It's like what Jether said. It sounds to them like, what'd you say, Jether, about the pallets?
Oh yeah, they probably found like a pallet in like some old warehouse. You know, like hey Hasbro, Bandai's got some old warehouses that they need to clean out, and they found like a pallet and like, oh, we could rebrand these, just make new boxes for them. They probably still work.
You know what? The thing is, like, me personally, I don't think it's gonna sell well, but watch it go flying off the shelves. I'm gonna be like,
I know one person on our team that's gonna buy him is JD. For sure, JD is gonna buy one.
How did you feel? I felt like you kind of like this product.
Me?
No, Heirloom.
Oh.
No, I was going to say, do you think for the limited edition one, because they found the palette, there's going to be the slightly yellowed one?
Yes.
So it's weathered and stuff like that. This Green Ranger one.
Like literally all the old white, like the white tone toys, they all get this weird color. My freaking Falcon Zord, I don't even know what color it is right now. It's like, how does that even happen?
It's like a weird yellowish.
So we're getting. I do want to talk to the chat a little bit here because we are getting people chiming in. Orange Lightning Time says, why bring that back? We got Bryce says, I don't play with my Lightning Collection figures, and I still have like 50 of them. Let's see. The Gangsta says, I'm buying one. And David Rotoy says, hello, you guys. Hope everything's okay out there. Hello. Thank you for joining us on this early Friday morning for us here in Los Angeles. But yeah, we're breaking down the Fan First Friday. And tell you the truth, like, well, let me ask you another question. And this one's going to go to you, Jason.
Oh.
Actually, it's going to go to all you guys, and you guys in the chat as well. Do you think that this Fan First Friday lived up to your expectations, even though we see some of the big things that were coming out? It's going to. Jeff is already with the no. How about you guys?
Not really. I think everything was leaked again. If it wasn't leaked, if they just, I don't know why they do it all the time, but if it wasn't leaked, I think I'd be like, okay, that's pretty cool.
And the one thing,
lean in it like too. Yeah, right. The one thing that we're glaringly passing over, honestly, and I felt like, why is this here? Was that White Ranger like car that they kind of like introduced? It was like this, like, I don't know what it was, like some kind of toy car. It's like what
for the green one, green and red. Remember back in the day?
I completely understand it, but I still go to Target and I still see those. Like, those are the things. Yeah, it's like are people buying those? Like, if there's collectors out there for it, more power to you. But I just feel that, like, put some resources into some of the stuff that we actually want to see.
I do know one person that is buying them, though. JDF.
Who? I love how you're, yeah.
JDF loves those.
That's actually.
He loves those.
That's actually. Anything that's kind of like a crossover into that. Now, we did the one glaring thing that we're probably going to spend the most of our time on. I mean, we could talk about more of these products and kind of shoot around, but look, the actual Lightning Collection figures, I think we already knew that they were coming, but to see those 4 figures, Green Dino Charge, the Phantom Ranger, the Pink in Space Ranger, and the Yellow Zeo Ranger, I think that really stole the show, and the sculpts looked great overall. Like, I think that's one thing that is getting it's increasingly improving from Hasbro, is that these sculpts are looking great. Like that Phantom Ranger figure, I almost got the same. It's the same feeling. Like to me, I think one of the best looking figures in the Lightning Collection is the Magna Defender, and I think the Phantom Ranger, at least from what I saw, rivals that right now. So now that's me speaking biased because I'm a huge Phantom Ranger fan, as you guys all know.
Super biased.
But you gotta admit that suit looks badass.
It does. It looks.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It does look good. I love the fact that they even did a collaboration with iCarly. Like, I've never seen a Power Ranger figure look like iCarly when it looks completely different.
What?
Oh, you mean are you talking about Cassie?
Yeah, like
I've got to go on mute to laugh and cackle. Hold on.
I saw it and I just staring and went, why does she look like iCarly?
I said Ming-Na. Yeah. I was like, what is he talking about?
I see it.
Oh my god, okay, I'm back. Oh my god.
That Phantom Ranger though looks gorgeous. But you know what? I will say this too. I think that the Nakia, the Yellow Zeo Ranger, Tanya's head sculpt looks really good.
Yeah.
It looks spot on.
Yes. Like, it looks
yeah. Like they said,
it went so quick. I didn't really get the chance to see Riley's head sculpt. Did any of you guys?
It looked okay. It looked the profile looked good. The portrait looked a little like he looked a little bit more like glammed up, but he looked okay.
You know, we were, and this is pulling the curtain back a little bit, is that we were talking, and funny enough, like I felt like this was in conjunction with all the SPD cast. Jezer moderated the panel for Power Morphicon, and we got into a great conversation after the panel ended. And we had some of the SPD cast just kind of talking about the Lightning Collection a little bit and how disappointed they were with their versions of head sculpt. But then we were convincing Matt Austin, like, no, listen, like the head sculpt looks good on your finger. It's just that your hairstyle at that point had changed, and like it convinced him. But there's nothing we could have said to Ali Parad about her head sculpt, because it doesn't look like Sid at all.
No, she was mad throughout 2 panels, I think.
Yeah.
Just, do you reckon that when MorphCon opens, do you think that she's going to get even madder when people come up and say, "Can you please sign my figure, please"?
Nah, I mean she's gonna just be happy to see everybody.
Yeah, you know what? Fun fact too. I just recently did a junket for Disney Plus, and I interviewed, believe it or not, my first ever interview, Brandon J. McLaren for Turner and Hooch on Disney Plus.
Oh, did you?
So that was
he's
in that.
Josh Peck.
Yeah, the one with Josh Peck. He's in it. He's a cast member in it, so it was pretty cool. That was like a full circle moment for me a little bit.
Does he remember you?
But back to this stuff. No, of course not. I don't know. But back to this Fan First Friday. I think it's cool that we've been kind of let up with. Oh, you know, we didn't even talk about iGuy. The Monster Collection, I think, is dying. Like, that's the one thing I will go to Target, like, and you'll see a ton of King Sphinxes and a ton of like pumpkin wrappers. Like, those things are not moving. I think that the biggest problem with that, and Mark or Erlen, let me ask your opinion on this, and also I want you guys to chime in the chat. We got Larry Newbill, we got our buddy Deoxy in here, so thank you guys all for joining us. But Erlen, talk to me about this with iGuy. Do you think one of the bigger problems with this is the scaling problem between the Lightning Collection Power Rangers and the monster figures?
I think so, because I think what they wanted to do was try and make it so the monsters are slightly bigger, but I've never kind of really seen it. When you see them fighting normally, they're rough, like the actors and the monster suits are roughly the same size. So it's like if you have to have your ranger look up to fight the person like eye level, then it just doesn't work, and it kind of takes it out of. But then obviously the monsters are a lot heavier as well, so it just, I don't think it works out, and I think that they should just kill the line. Just either release two more, and just go, here's Madam Woe, here's the Terratoad, and then just go, yeah, we're going to move on or redo it. But they want to keep them all in the same line or the same size, so it's just going to be an even more problem.
Jezer, are these monster lines, are they in line with the Tangle Warriors that just recently came out, or the Tangle Warriors considerably smaller, and do they fit in with this Lightning Collection?
I think the Tengu Warriors are like an inch or two, maybe an inch taller than the Lightning Collection, and then this monster line is like, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 inches bigger. They're huge comparably, but like, yeah, the Tengu Warriors are closer to like Goldar's height.
Now, me personally, I feel like with the size of like Goldar and the Putties, well, the Putties obviously, but like the Tengu Warriors, even Lord Zed to an extent, I feel like that's the perfect scale for the monsters in the Lightning Collection. Now, when they went off, and I get the detail that they wanted to give King Sphinx and Pumpkin Wrapper, and even now iGuy, I get the detail. And by the way, iGuy's a fun throwback, because I remember iGuy being in our original 8-inch line back when I was a kid, along with King Sphinx. So that's a little bit of a throwback for us. But truth is, like, I'm a little bit over the Lightning Collection monster line. I don't know, I wasn't really sold on iGuy. Daniel, how about you?
Same thing. iGuy, really not a big fan of it. I do remember him. I remember the old 8-inch, but still, it's the size. It has to do with the scale. The scale is sometimes just, it's almost annoying. And it's like, okay, did you make it that way so this way I could have more Zord fights? Is that why you did it? But the Zord is much bigger than that one. So it doesn't belong. You know, it's like in a world where it doesn't belong. It's too big. It's too big for the Lightning figure, it's too small for the Zords. Where does it go?
Right. Now, I know that some of you guys may think that, oh, you guys are being overcritical on the on Hasbro's announcements, and maybe we are on some of them, but there are some cool things. And I'm not a Zord guy, but some of the gray Zords that they showed with the Dino Fury Zords looked really good, and you can almost see now that Hasbro's starting to hit their stride with the way that they're designing the Zords. I mean, already it just looks so much more of an improvement than things we had gotten previously in the past. Not talking about like the collector's Soul of Chikogan or whatever it is, but like, you know what I mean? Yeah, just for the general fan, I think that they've already been starting to step up their game in terms of like the Zords and the mechs that they have coming out for us. And Heirloom, I know that's something that you're excited about, right?
I'm excited, and I'm also annoyed at Hasbro for what they said, because the Zords look great. Like, I'm really excited that they're bringing them out. Boxes look great. I love the fact that you can pose them. They're not just the static like figures that we'd normally get. But he turned around and said like, oh, these ones are coming out in the fall, and then the next wave's coming out next year. And I'm like,
right.
What? Like, I think there's like 12 of them. So it just feels like if that's their marketing strategy, and to say, hey, you're just going to get 5 now, and then you're going to get the rest next year, it'd be like, no, you need to release all of them, otherwise you're not going to complete the collection or finish it. And I think like one of my friends who's in the chat, Dave, we've talked about this before, and it's like, if you want to complete a collection and finish it off, why are you releasing it so much later? And yet again, they know how well robots sell, so you think this would have been out straight away, like as fast as they can. But it just means, will that happen in the next one, with whichever series it's going to be, that it's just going to mess up and they're going to go, sorry, we can't finish this off. It's like, oh, it's so frustrating. Ah.
Right.
Yeah, they're very vague
Well, let
about
me
it.
ask
They said
you-
like, oh well, these will be coming out maybe in the fall, and but there's no pre-orders. You're just gonna have to find them. Pretty much is what they said. It's like it's an all-out battle for these limited figures, because that way we don't have to make so many, and then if you can't find them, then oh man, it must have been selling. Like they're making such a limited amount that probably one whole set in one box, and it's gonna be their target stock or whatever for like, I don't know, the whole year. And they're just leaving it very
Now,
vague.
chat, I have a question for you guys, everybody in the chat. Now, I know that when Bandai was releasing the Legacy line, we had that promise of, if this is going to be a line that's going to give you every single Ranger. Now, let me ask you guys in the chat, and also you guys here, do you think that you're a little hesitant about some of these lines because you're not sure if they're going to get completed? This is kind of like something you were saying earlier with these Zords, Heirloom, is that, they're going to release some of them now and maybe some of them later, and we don't know when they're going to release. It seems like the biggest issue here is distribution more so than anything else, right?
Yeah, I think you're going to get all of them. Because originally they said at Palmorphcon like a few years ago when Hasbro took over, they were like, we're only going to give you a few, we're only going to give you this. But I think they've seen how much money that these figures bring in. So I think that rather than saying like, oh, the next wave you're going to get this one and this one and this one, they're finishing off the teams. If it was back in the old days, I think it would just be like Mighty Morphing, and then that would be it. But I think we're going to get more of them. But they need to either slow it down so people can catch up and breathe and go, right, cool, now I can buy wave 10 or wave 11, rather than, oh, wait, wave 13's just been released. I have no money for this. And then Hasbro go, why aren't we selling? It's like, oh. But yeah, I think we're going to get it. I think that they're just finishing off old teams before they start brand new ones. And then the next wave, when they go Lightning Strikes Back, you'll get the next one.
Lightning Strikes Back. I love that. Let's talk about something else real quick. Completion of teams. Now, the Zeo team with the addition of Tanya is going to be complete. We will have every single Zeo figure, including both iterations of the Gold Ranger being Jason and Trey. Now that team is done, what team do you think they're looking to round out? Obviously, we're really close to, or I think we're going to be done with Power Rangers in Space too once we get Zane as the Silver Ranger. So that team will also be complete. After that, what team are we looking towards being the closest being done? Is it SPD?
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
SPD, and I think they should start moving towards finishing up Time Force too.
Time Force. Well, they just start. I mean, they just kind of started Time Force. Like, I think that like they it's interesting with that one, but I think that like what other lines are getting close there? We have Lost Galaxy. I mean, we have a couple of the characters from Lost Galaxy, or a few of the characters from Lost Galaxy. Another one that I'm shocked they hadn't finished yet, honestly. And I think this is a big missed opportunity, because I think that sales would have been a little bit higher had they done this during the right time. Was Beast Morphers. Little surprised there that we haven't gotten any announcement about a Zoe or Roxy figure, which is kind of surprising to me. And Dino Thunder, we're very close to Dino Thunder also.
Oh yeah, really close to Dino Thunder. Like 2 more, I think, right?
2 more, yeah. So we do, and we do have a couple questions here in the chat. And by the way, we do have that super chat feature if you do want to support the show. If not, just ask any question, and we are going to take your question. So David World Toy says, Joe, question: box set of 5 Rangers or by themselves, which is better? Me personally, in my opinion, I will take the box set as long as the other Rangers hadn't already been released and I'd already bought them. I feel like I've been burnt out so many times. The Psycho Rangers are probably the best example.
I wish I could go back in time and not buy Psycho Rangers. I wish. Me too.
I do kind of dig the box set though, because if they would have done that with the A Squad, I probably would have been a little upset, mainly too, because I got Sky and the A Squad Blue. But if they did like Alien Rangers as just the box set and released it just as is, I'm all for it. I'm all for that. How about you guys? Daniel, what do you think about the box set of 5? How do you feel about that?
It depends on budget, honestly. You have to think about other people that are don't have that money to be able to go ahead and purchase a box set. So if they're able to release everything from the box set individually, then that's cool. But if they do that whole thing where it's like, all right, it's a team of 5, we release 2, and then to get the other 3, you can only get it in the box set, that's messed up.
Right. And Heirloom, when do you think that? Well, I know it pisses Jezzer off to no end. If you really want to, if Hasbro's really to take a shot at Jezzer, just release like 1 figure and make them buy it, and then release every other figure in a box set. That's the quickest way to get Jezzer out of the Lightning collection, if that was the case. But Heirloom, for you, I mean, are you one of those collectors that collects because of the packaging, or do you keep it in the box, or how do your collecting habits change when you get an individual figure and then the announcement of a box set comes?
I get annoyed because Hasbro's type of thing is, I feel like they turn around and say, oh, here's a figure, and then later on someone goes, why didn't we release a sword with it? Oh crap, we forgot. And then they bring out and say, oh, this is the only chance that you can get all 5 like swords or stuff. It gets frustrating, because if it Lightning Collection like the Psycho Rangers, I would have released them 1 by 1 and done them each wave, rather than go, here's 3 in. Oh wait, now we'll go back and then we'll release this, because I feel like they like to reuse the molds, which is fine. But it's more like, well, we give you this 1 item that was very rarely used, or like if you took Mike Morphin, Billy used this 1 thing for 5 seconds, but we've included it with a Billy. You need this, and I think you get burnt out, because you go, well, I kind of need that, or do I not? It's weighing it up. So when I saw the Dino Fury thing, I was just like, no, I'm annoyed because I just think it's a bad way to make. I don't know. It's good for Hasbro for making money, but for people who don't have it or don't want to buy it, but then they want to, it's just so frustrating. The short answer is,
let me ask you that. You bring up a great point that I hope doesn't go overlooked here. Now, you said it's a great way for Hasbro to make money, but do you think that also sometimes can turn off collectors, or even kids, because they already have these previous other figures and they're like, well, I'm not going to buy this just for 2 figures. At that point, do you think they're shooting themselves in the foot?
Yeah, definitely. If, like, say you had a kid who's got like Red Ranger, or who's got, say, the core collection, the first 3, and then they go like, oh, I've got I don't want that. I don't want the 3 Rangers that are going to stick in the box. Now, if it was something like you got Void Knight, the mucus thing, and then you got, say, a monster that wasn't included, then that finishes it off. And you go, oh, I'm more intent to buy that. But if you're playing with a figure, or if you're just collecting, it's like, well, what do I do with the first 3 that I've spent $10, $20 on? It's just a waste of money. But then you kind of think, well, if, say, the next series comes along, Hasbro does this, be like, well, I'm not going to buy this main line, because how do I know that Hasbro are going to release the same line again? And I think that's really frustrating on my sort of side. Why should I give them more money for the same figure that just comes with 1 accessory? Like, make it glittery. cool. Make a big change to it. Otherwise, it's just boring, and it's just like it will stay on the shelves.
Let me ask you, Daniel, a question, because I know that at least in the chat, and even as us hardcore fans, and let's be fair, we are all hardcore fans, or else we wouldn't be, or at least in our case, up at 9 in the morning, 8 in the morning talking about Power Rangers. So we definitely are hardcore fans. With that being said, I do have to ask you, Daniel, is that we had the announcement of these the metallic armor Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and I know that the first initial reaction is immediately a groan. Mainly because it's like, wow, like these sparkly Mighty Morphin figures. And like, I understand that's a way to repackage those Mighty Morphin figures, but do you think that it would have made more cool? Look at that. Do you think, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
There we go. Do you guys think it would have made more of an impact if that was either the Mighty Morphin movie figures, which we just recently had an anniversary for, from like 1995, I believe it is, or if it was like the Ninjetti figures, like staying in theme with Mighty Morphin, but giving us something a little bit different? Do you think that would have played better with an audience?
Would have played massively better with the audience. The numbers you can see. People went insane when they showed just the image of what we all believe to be the Ninjetti, coming up. Yeah. So think about it. Think about, especially the movie figures. People have wanted those forever. Right. The movie suits were amazing to me. Yes, they were just biking like outfits, but my God, I loved them. And
did you like those more than the 2017 movie?
I did, yeah.
Oh,
I did.
You know what? Honestly, yeah.
I think I did too, honestly.
Yeah, I did. They looked cool. You know, they had the armor, and it's also funny enough. Some people didn't realize it, but later, like with the New 52, they played on that whole battle armor kind of thing for DC. That's why, like, Superman had that Kryptonian kind of one, and Batman had an Aquaman and the Flash. Everybody had like that. Well, not Aquaman, but everybody had that kind of slight battle armor. It all came from the idea of watching
Justice League Total Justice, for all of you guys that may not remember this.
No. I was talking about the New 52 stuff.
The New 52. Oh, gotcha.
They were all set in these little panels on their clothing and everything. And it's like, there you go, back then. So, I mean, it's influential. And it's something that I think they should have done. But it's sad that they didn't, man.
All right, let's go to some of these comments in the chat. We got Blackwing says that he's still waiting for the Time Force figures. Pikachu Master says, hello, everyone. How's your day? We're doing great. Thank you so much. Robert Amaya says, I agree. They need to focus on finishing the seasons they worked and start the other seasons. Joe question, box set of 5 Rangers bio. We went to that question already. Deoxy says Dino Thunder. I think that's when we were talking about which seasons are we getting closer to completing. Blackwing says Alien Rangers box set. That's a solid box set. I also think that's a cool box set. Because look, Hasbro's been doing these things, and I have a feeling we'll get one of those at Comic-Con. Because I don't know if anybody remembers this, but I believe that there was I'm a big fan of the Marvel Legends line. I don't collect it mainly because that's a rabbit hole I will not go down and have to spend money on. But they did have a Alpha Flight. Oh, they also had Thunderbolt box set.
They had an Alpha Flight
from the comic Thunderbolt. They had an Alpha Flight set, which I thought was phenomenal, and I can only imagine them doing something like that with the Alien Rangers once this line kind of really kicks off. Because there's pockets of teams. You know what? Another team that I would assume that they would never make, but then I thought to myself, well, and they're making Andros wearing his little cloak, his little cloak.
Mm-hmm.
Like that figure's rarely in a couple episodes. But honestly, Lord Zed's Dark Rangers, the one that Elle would always make fun of, they're just wearing their shitty spandex. Like I almost think we're gonna get a 5-pack of those Dark Rangers.
We get those. We have to purchase that for her and then just give it to her. Oh man.
We won't tell her that they made
that would be phenomenal. Right? That would be great. But honestly, I think that with the Dino Fury figures and their Lightning Collection releases, but I'm with you, Erlem. I think that when you release something like this as a box set and people have already started collecting the other figures, I just think it's a little bit of a turnoff, and it kind of sours people on that buying experience. You almost feel a little cheated. It's like a bait and switch there at the end. Let's talk more, though, about a presentation of this Fan First Friday, mainly because I think that these Fan First Fridays are getting better. I think that they're, like we're all doing these digitally, and it's cool that we're even getting some announcement. But Jezzer, talk to me about just how the stream flowed this time around.
the I know a lot of people there. It's mixed about people if they like the quizzes or not, but because they had so many new announcements, they took the quiz out. They had so many new announcements. I think that, I mean, it flowed okay. Maybe adding another member to them, like someone to help moderate and like control the flow of it a little bit, because there were a lot of like like lulls where it's just like, oh, like little gaps where it was just awkward and there was no sound in between, and then maybe a little less eye jokes. They're really trying to force it a little bit. I don't know if do you guys know if is it really live, or is it pre-taped? Is it
I
live?
think it's pre-taped.
Okay.
I mean, it seems like it's pre-taped. You know what though? I do have a couple. We have some great some of you guys in the chat. I mean, our chat. I feel like you guys are awesome. Donnie Pearson, Mikey Nerd Talk. They are asking David World Toys. Sorry, he asks. Okay, then what do you guys want to see and not see, please? Let's start with you, Erlen. What do you want to see? And like, I'm not just going to confine this to just the Lightning Collection, but what are some key announcements that would really get you excited back into that Hasbro collectible product again? Or I'm not saying you're not. I'm going to say again, but like, what really would get you excited?
I want to see props. Like I'd love to. The two things I think I would love to see if we're going for Might Morphin, Power Blaster. Like we've had a Power Sword.
Oh yeah, good call. Great call.
Like a proper Power Blaster that like is the same size as like the Legacy Collection. A Zeo Crystal. Like I would love to see a Zeo Crystal. I'd like to see more morphers. So like maybe a Wolf morpher from Jungle Fury, a proper Mobiritz from Super Mega Force. I don't know. I think that what I wouldn't like to see is some Operation Overdrive stuff or series that didn't do very well. I don't know. I think that's about it. What about you guys?
Jezzer, I'm very curious because you're very opinionated on what you like out of Lightning Collection, and I'm going to ask you the same question. But do you think for you, this Fan First Friday would have been better if the rumored Ninja Turtle Power Ranger mashup figures would have been announced on this Fan First Friday?
Yes, even if it wasn't like, oh well, here at 1 o'clock you can pre-order or whatever. Even if it's just like, oh, here they are, they're gonna be coming soon. Just a little hint of something, because I mean they are rumored, or there are like codes out there that pretty much solidify that they're on their way, right? Mark, like that's what what the rumor is, that there's like 2 packs or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, just a little hint.
Wait, 2 packs for what now?
Of the turtle set, the
Oh, really?
the Boom Studios turtle set. Like there's a decoded things that they got out there. Like just seeing, like even if they showed just not the Turtle Rangers, maybe like the Green Ranger Shredder, and just have them like shown up there, I would have been, oh yeah, total win. This is a total win of a stream. Or
yeah.
I really would like. I know like we enjoy seeing the spoilers like a few days or a few hours before, but if they were able to keep it like hidden, the reveals would be so much better. I think.
I mean, look, I can't hate on spoilers because that's essentially when we're recording exclusives all the time at the Illuminerdi.
No, so but they don't announce it though. Like they don't announce stuff yet that we.
I mean, sometimes we usually get it announced right away. Like casting stuff we've been really good with and stuff like that. But what do you not want to see from Hasbro? What do you not want to see them put out?
Oh, I don't want to see 2 packs of containing figures that they already released. I don't want to see any of that anymore. I don't want to see that. Huh?
Yeah, no, go ahead, man.
And how they did the TJ and Psycho Silver or whatever. I don't want to see. Sure. I don't want to see a TJ figure coming out later on.
Right now, Daniel, this is going to be a very similar question to you, but are you cool with the 2-packs being like from a specific point in Power Ranger history? For example, we had one that was Lord Zed and Rita's wedding. We had A Squad, Blue Ranger versus Sky. We have the Silver Psycho Ranger, which is really Zane, and TJ. So are you cool with them being like from like these moments in Power Ranger history, Or how do you think, like, another 2-pack, which I think would be great, is the Thunder Rangers from Ninja Storm. I think that's a perfect 2-pack. You know what I mean? But what are those? Do you like the Moments in History 2-pack?
I like moments in history. I want a evil Kimberly. That Rita said this already once before, but I
so you definitely want the moments in time of like those specific episodes.
Yeah, I want that. I want that Rita. That Rita one, and I want it to be a special kind of 2-pack, where it's actually a triple pack. It's her, and then you get Squat and Babu. I want the evil dimension, the dark dimension, Goldar versus Tommy, or versus Jason.
With the green candle.
Yeah, like I want these things. I want those kind of things. I love those moments.
Right. What do you not? What do you not want from Hasbro?
I don't want something that's already been put out. I don't want something that we've seen before. I don't want Eye Guy because we've seen him before when we were younger. No, honestly, it's not because it's just Eye Guy. I don't want him because we've seen him before in another form. I want something that's new, that wasn't in this form before. I want something that we didn't think about. There it is. Boom. That's like the stuff that I want.
So one of the things for me that I'm not even like one of the role play guys, like in terms of getting the props, but I understand how people like them because it is pretty cool. After all, there is one Bandai product that I think that it's going to be hard to top it if Hasbro even attempts to make it. But I think it's the risk communicators. I think Bandai did such a phenomenal job at those communicators that it's going to be really hard to figure out how they're going to implement that gimmick if Hasbro decides to make them. Another thing that I'm surprised that we haven't gotten yet was a Master Morpher. I felt like once the Master Morpher kind of debuted, the fandom exploded for it. And I think that that's such a great gimmick where you can have all of Tommy's little coins, dedicated to whatever it may be. So I agree with you, Aram, in terms of like some of the role play stuff. Like a Blade Blaster is like, it's a pretty smart idea. Like mainly because we haven't gotten one of those in such a long time. And I think that Hasbro they know how to do role play stuff really well. But the Lightning Collection stuff, I'm always a fan of. But I agree with you guys in terms of the way things are released, that I'm not the biggest fan of like, okay, here's one figure from whatever team. Now you got to buy all the other figures, including that figure, in some kind of set. And it's like, why?
Deoxy
but I will say that Power Rangers...
Deoxy wants a Kid Rocky versus Justin figure.
Justin.
That'd be great. I mean, but I think that, like, honestly, some of these, like, I'm surprised we haven't gotten any Lightspeed Rescue figures. Especially the Titanium Ranger. I feel like that's a more popular Ranger. Or any RPM, believe it or not. Like, I'm shocked we haven't gotten anything from RPM unless they're going to be doing some big, like, all right, now the season that you've all wanted, the RPM figures. I don't know, but I'm a little shocked that we haven't gotten RPM figures yet. But yeah, I mean, some of the things that I really don't want, honestly, like some of these, like the cars, right? The Power Ranger cars, some of these like other things, like I'm like, why? Like that stupid Tiger video game, like, and I don't mean to shit on it if you're gonna buy it because that's not my intention. It's just not a product for me, and it's like Daniel hit it right on the head. Like if that's a sense of nostalgia, your market isn't for like kids that weren't even born, even a gleam in their parents' eyes when something like that came out. That's specifically targeting me and Daniel's age range. And I'll tell you right now, as a guy my age, I'm not buying that. Technology has advanced so far that, like, I don't need to do that. You know what I mean?
I'm done.
Yeah. Ridiculous, man.
If you go, like, going quickly back to something like you said, with the communicator, the one thing that I would do to change it, to make it better than Bandai's, is have it a walkie-talkie. So if you buy two, you can actually talk to your friend. Obviously, they have to be quite close, but that's how you would kind of profit and make it better, rather than get to the command center right now, Rangers. Be like, no, I can actually talk to my friend in the other room, and then I think that would make it the superior one. You'd be like, yes, that's what I would do.
Until that goes off in a Power Ranger panel. I remember going to Morrison, and you would go in a panel and you'd hear the dun, 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 and it would just get to a point where
everybody's ringtone.
You know what I mean?
Everybody's ringtone.
Yeah,
that's funny.
So funny. But yeah, I mean that pretty much in a nutshell covered. I mean, we could talk a little bit more about the Lightning Collection because, like, I think that, like, I think those figures overall looked really good.
They did.
I know Jezzer had issues with Cassie's head sculpt colored Ming Na, and I see that a little bit, but you know what? I'm just happy. And also, this is our first line. Is this our first line without a Mighty Morphin figure and without a Red Ranger?
Sir.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Do you think the distribution is going to be like the Phantom Ranger is going to be one per case?
He's gonna be one per case. It's gonna be like 3 of, which one's gonna have 3? 3 of Dino Charge, 2 of.
Really? You think it's gonna be 3 of Dino Charge? Yeah, you're
3
probably
of
right.
Dino Charge, 2 of Pink Space, 2 of Zero, and then 1 of what do you call it? Freaking
Phantom Ranger.
Phantom.
It's gonna be terrible.
I could see that.
It's gonna
Man.
be terrible.
Hey, by the way, did you guys get a chance to read Power Rangers Unlimited: Edge of Darkness?
Not yet.
Not yet.
yet.
No.
No, for me.
I recommend reading it. It was a good read. Frank Gogol will be with me live on the Ranger Wrap Up tomorrow. We are going to be going a little bit later tomorrow, but we are going to be talking about the Phantom Ranger, his inspiration. I want to dive deep and talk about like some of the stuff, like where the creative ideas came from. What did they use from the Turbo era that may have not been used for this? So I'm really excited to like pick the brain of pretty much one of the best, well, I guess the best Phantom Ranger story we've gotten to date yet.
Yeah. Are you gonna bring your helmet?
Yes, I think so. I think I'm gonna bring the helmet, but I'm not gonna wear the suit because it's
Oh, no
hot
way.
out
You
in
have
California.
to, man. He's gonna be like, "What? This is the
No,
best
I'm good.
interview I've ever done."
You'd stand out.
Yeah, I'm good. But
As Joe
I
drops and convulses from heat stroke.
But I'm gonna say, for all of you guys that are in the local Southern California area, that interview tomorrow is going to be live at the Comic Bug in Manhattan Beach at 3 o'clock.
Yes.
I will be doing that live in front of a actual audience, hopefully, super last minute though, but hopefully in front of a live audience talking about the Phantom Ranger, all things Phantom Ranger, and who knows, maybe we might get more Phantom Ranger stories. Maybe we can get some information there. So if you want to come out and support, live tomorrow, the Comic Bug at Manhattan Beach. Come and join the conversation, and come and pick up the book. Get it signed by Frank, and let's have a good time. Let's show Ranger Nation we're back in full force.
Let's go. All right. I think that's everything, right?
I
Yeah.
think that's everything. I think we covered it, guys. We almost went an hour here. We had a good little show today.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Now, in 10 minutes, they're gonna do the pre-orders. You guys gonna pre-order any of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna pre-order the Phantom
Which
Ranger for sure.
store?
I'm gonna. Yeah, I mean, hey, let me ask you guys. This is a fun fact here. So I stayed up pretty late last night, kind of going over all the figures I don't have, or I didn't pre-order, or I didn't buy. And there's a lot. By the way, there's a lot. And if I spend money on this, it's gonna be close to like $500. It's gonna be like $450, $475, somewhere around there. Yeah. If I drop all the money on all the figures I want, it's gonna be somewhere around that. So let me ask you guys.
I think that's a good amount.
Yeah, I know that's a pretty cool. I like that a lot actually. I'm gonna work on getting a little office made and get stuff like that. But let me ask you guys. So like, where do you think the best prices are? I looked at Big Bad Toy Store. It's a little bit more pricey than I would like, but they do have more of a variety.
Prime Day, they had like a good amount of them on sale.
I should have done Prime Day. But Amazon Prime is what I'm looking at right now, and Amazon Prime does seem like it is the best prices, even including Hasbro Pulse's prices.
Hasbro Pulses, oh my god, just the shipping is
super
ridiculous.
expensive.
Shipping is ridiculous.
Well, I mean, at this point, I'd be ordering so much. I'm going to get free shipping no matter which one I do.
You'd be
but then another
they're still going to charge you.
Do you get charged even on pre-orders, or do they charge you once the figure's shipped?
Once it's shipped.
Once it's shipped. Pre-orders, it just secures your thing. Like, hey, I've now got one, so you'd be absolutely fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's on Pulse and Amazon, or does it matter?
Both.
Oh, really?
So it's good.
Look at that, you guys are
I'm gonna do Amazon
opening
for
up my
sure,
mind.
because even though I wait a little bit longer, I like Amazon.
Yeah, and I got a couple Amazon gift cards for my birthday, so Amazon too. I'm gonna get some of these figures.
Oh, yeah.
But guys, I think this was a fun show today.
It was.
It was.
Cute.
Well, good. Well, look, may the power protect you, all the Power Ranger fans in there. I'm glad you guys are toxic as we saw in the chat.
That chat. I need to, because I've screen recorded all of it. I need to go back and check, because it literally goes from slow, and you're like, what? What the actual hell? But then I just keep saying like Loretta.
Oh my god. No, I still have it up. It is bad. Like even the start is just bad. They go hard. Like, damn, you guys are relentless. And the fact that Hasbro Pulse replied to some of them and that they're seeing them, God, you guys like so cringy, so cringy. It's terrible.
They kicked Chris.
They kicked him. They kicked him.
Oh, man. Well, look, guys, thank you so much for joining us in the chat. We appreciate it this early Friday morning. I don't know, what time is it for you, Aaron? Like in the afternoon, you in the evening?
It's around about almost 6 p.m., so it's not too bad.
It's too early.
Just starting his evening.
It's too early. I want to go back to sleep.
Yeah, me.
Yep.
What time is it where you guys
It's almost
are?
10 a.m. But
It's almost 10 a.m. now.
Yeah.
But I was up at I think I was up at 7:30 just preparing for this.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was sending you guys a bunch of stuff last night, and I was just like, wow, it's something else, man, something else.
It is something else. Well, look, guys, thank you so much for joining us live Friday morning. Tomorrow, if you are in the Southern California area, please come down to the Comic Bug in Manhattan Beach at 3 o'clock. We'll be doing a live Q&A with Power Rangers Unlimited Edge of Darkness writer Frank Gogol. He'll be talking about the Phantom Ranger in full. So maybe we get some more clarity on where the Phantom Ranger's direction is going and any other things that might be going on with Boom Studios. But guys, where can everybody find you on social media? Let's start with you, Battlestar Galactica.
Well, you can find me on Instagram at Battlestar Galactica. You can also find me on Twitter at the Illuminated BSG. Anybody else?
Mark?
Jezzer, how about you?
Me? You can find me on all social media at JezzerZeus. I'm going to be partying it up because, it's Clippers Law, so it's going to be a good weekend. Going to have a few drinks and celebrate that. Fuck the Clippers.
Wow.
Heirloom, how about you? Where can everybody find you?
You can find me pretty much everywhere under Heirloom, bar Twitter, which is Mainstream Live.
And you can find me at Joe Illuminerdi on all social media and right here at the Illuminerdi every week, most of all every week at the Ranger Wrap-Up. And for all of you guys that are celebrating the 4th of July here in the United States, please be safe. And just be safe. But that's going to do it for us right here at the Illuminerdi. Look, we had a lot of fun talking about this Fan First Friday. I'm really excited that we got a Phantom Ranger. I don't want that to be overshadowed. Finally, the Phantom Ranger is coming to the Lightning Collection. But guys, thank you so much for joining us. Please hit the notifications and that like, share, and subscribe button. Stay up to date with everything trending in
In
pop
geek pop culture.
Peace.
Hey.